Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Again, depending on what part of the world you're in, my name is Anthony Daines, and welcome to the 5-Minute Facebook Ministry. We're giving all honor to God today and every day. Today we'll come out of the book of Mark, the 10th chapter, the 7th verse. That's Mark 10 and 7. And it reads out of the King James Version. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. Again, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. Now these are the words of Jesus. And this is after the Pharisees have come to Jesus and asked him, is it lawful for a man to put away his wife? And again, this was something to tempt him. And he asked them, what did Moses tell you? And Moses said that you could get a divorce, that you could write a bill of divorcement and put away. And Jesus says that wasn't God's intent, and that God allowed them to do that because of the hardness of their heart. And today we're still doing that because of the hardness of our heart, because we have failed to realize that God has given us a wife to love, or a husband to love, regardless of everything else that's going on. And we've got to find a way to apply God's love toward us, toward our spouse, be it a male or a female, whether you're the husband or the wife. And it says here, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother. So, when you are a child, you belong to your father and mother. They basically command your life, tell you what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And as you get older, you start to fall out of their grasp. But as a single man, you're still real tight with your mother and your father. And even as a single woman, you're still real tight with your mother and your father, calling for advice, listening to them, depending on them still. And even some to the point where they depend on you sometimes, where that relationship changed. But when you get married, it says a man will leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife. And what does that mean? It means that when you, as a man, take on a wife, you're going to cleave to her. You are going to not let her get away from you. Now, why does this say a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife? Why does it say a man or woman will leave and cleave to his wife or cleave to her husband? God has put responsibility on the man in the marriage. You are the head of the woman, just as God is the head of the church. And by you cleaving to your wife in a godly manner, in return, your wife will cleave to you. If you cleave to your wife in a godly manner, and you make sure that she's the center point of your life as a man of God, after Jesus Christ, after God, then she will put you in that same place. The problem with marriages today is that, we men, we're not doing the things that we need to do as the lead in our families. And the thing that we have to understand is God doesn't want us to lead by being a dictator. Okay? Remember that God's example of leadership is serving. God's example of leadership is serving. So as Jesus came to earth and led his disciples, he served them at the same time. And as husbands, as we lead our wives, as we lead our families, we have to serve them at the same time. When we serve our wives as men of God, as the head of our house, as we serve them as the head of our house, then all the love and all the companionship that you need and want will be returned to you, because you will empower her to do that. And a lot of times when we strip the ability of a woman to love us, we strip the ability of a woman to treat us the way we want to be treated, because we're not being the men of God, the man of God that we're supposed to be in our marriage. So if your marriage is not working the way that you want it to work, stop looking at your wife. Men, stop looking at your wife and start living the way that you think God wants you to live in your marriage. And start praying for your wife and laying hands on her, and praying for your children, and leading your family to church, and leading your family to God, and watch things fall into place. It can only get better. And the thing is, it may not happen overnight, but you will reach that breakthrough if you continue to walk